Okay, I am currently in a Walmart parking lot. I don't know how much light. I mean, I can, yeah, okay, we're good. We're good on light, I think. Balance this thing, but there's, okay, this might work. That might be the best we get. Welcome to my YouTube video, which is a little bit overdue. So basically, I went on Instagram and I asked a bunch of my followers to ask me for some college advice related to online or anything that they wanted to know. Let's go ahead and start and jump right in because I'm losing daylight. Okay. Maria Malsaid underscore Sorespo asks more tips for virtual colleges. Well, personally, I only ever went to virtual college. I did all of my schooling online, or I did it blended, which is where I went to school for some of the classes and did online for some of the classes. And so basically, okay, I think that works. Okay, so basically my tip is that you really consider, before you get those college loans and before you get a dorm room, before you do any of that, please just consider whether or not you should do online school. It is so much cheaper and you're gonna be getting the same degree. I would also consider either community college or online school for at least your first 2 years when you're getting your associates, because you're going to be taking these random classes that really don't count for anything besides your associates. These classes that are basically just repeats of high school. I guarantee you're going to be like, didn't I learn this already? Yes, you did. Pretty much, unless you're taking like a bunch of random electives. But your associates isn't going to be your major and all that. It's not going to be too focused on what you're majoring in. So I recommend taking that online. Save money where you can. You don't have to have that college experience. I understand that you might want it, but to be in debt with loans and all that, I definitely recommend online school, virtual, or at least blended classes, or to at least attend a college near home. I understand you want to get away from home. I understand you want to go to a dorm. I wanted to too, and it wasn't financially feasible for me. But I'm getting my diploma completely from financial aid, so I'm glad to not have any loans out and to not have to worry about student debt. And I don't want any of you to have that experience either. Please do it online if you can, if you're comfortable at home. If your only reason for going to college is so you can party and have the college experience, then I don't know, maybe reconsider. But I understand we all want to have that experience and we all want to leave, but like I don't know, debt that takes 10 plus years to pay off or more, and to have that degree and to like move on, you know, just consider it. All right, that's Ram. Hi, I love her. Asks, how do I study? Ooh, that's a great question. I was never a huge studier because I tested well. I always did well on tests, whether I studied for them or not. I would usually get an A. That is not me bragging. That is just me stating that like I'm a good test taker and it would just happen that way. Paying attention to what the teacher is saying is just gold, because hopefully that appears on the test. So just try and do that. Try to pay attention to what the teacher is saying, and retaining that information and not falling asleep during class is going to be so great for when you actually take a test. Studying, we use Quizlet, we use Chegg, we use flashcards. Use what you can to retain information. And what a great way to study is to actually make your own tests. So learn the information, retain as much as you can, and then go back and ask yourself questions. Because if you can teach it to somebody else, like pretend like you were giving a lesson plan. That's what I meant to say, not to make a test. Pretend that you are making a lesson plan from your notes, that you were going to give this to a class of people who have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. So if you're trying to study chemistry and pretend you're about to teach a bunch of 5th graders about chemistry, if you can teach it, if you can pretend to give a lesson plan on what you're studying, then you have retained the information, you know it enough to be able to explain it to somebody else, and that means you're learning. So definitely try making a lesson plan out of it, make it fun, like maybe add some games, do something you need to do to retain that information. So yeah. Also, while you study, chew gum and then chew that same flavor again while you're taking the test. I heard it helps you retain the knowledge and bring it back and all that. So I don't know, I haven't tried it yet, but let me know. Helen Raymond 7 asks, how do I find time to work out? Well, this is a great question. If you're studying and you're doing a bunch of school stuff and you really honestly don't have time, I would just schedule it. There was a kid on TikTok who was talking about like, I'm so stressed out. I feel like I have no time, even though I have all of this time in the world. And I just don't know when I should be studying and when is free time, because all of it's free time. But I should be studying and I should be doing school. I just don't know when I should be doing that. Make your schedule. Like, literally make your own schedule. Like, this is when I'm having lunch and watching TV shows. This is when I'm working out. And this is when I'm doing school. I recommend doing that and sticking to that for a week and trying it out and see how it works for you. I would always remember to do my workouts right after eating or right before watching TV or like something like that, so that I can remember to work out. Key move: ask, how is college really like? Is it the way teachers describe it, or are they overreacting? So college is, especially the first 2 years, in my opinion, was super easy. I did all of these advanced classes, AP honors, ACE, all of these really, really elaborate and excessive classes that made me do a bunch of work. And it was super hard and it was draining. And college wasn't like that at all. It was super easy. Teachers were very forgiving. It was very humanizing experience. Like, the teacher was real. Like, guys, I understand you have other like classes, like homework wasn't that big a deal. It's just another world, and it's much more flexible. I'm gonna say that it's much more flexible because you're paying for this. You should be able to experience it in a way that you'll like it. So yeah, it's definitely a lot less pressure than high school, in my opinion. At least for me, in college, I don't feel like I need to get straight A's, even though I still do. I feel like I don't need to have perfect grades because I'm not going anywhere after college. I'm not trying to get into another college. Some people are, but I'm not trying to do that. So my grades are a reflection of how much work and effort I want to put in and how much I'm actually learning. So it just feels a little bit more stress-free. Rachel Carbone asks, how many schools should I apply to? I applied to 3 dream schools, and then I applied to community college, which I always recommend that you do. Apply to community college because you know you're going to get in there, and you'll always have that as a safety net. Like, you're going to college regardless, if that's what you want. You're going to college regardless, so at least you'll have that one. And then I actually recommend applying to 5 if you can. It's a little time consuming, but definitely apply as much as you can. One will say yes, one will say no. I actually had a school who said, please retake your SATs so that, because we don't accept anybody under this score, so that we can accept you. And then I did take the SATs again, and I still wasn't accepted because my score was still too low, but that's okay. I got accepted to a different school. So definitely, I would aim to 3 to 5 for the dream school. And then, I think a teacher once said, like, apply to like 3 dream schools, 2 in-state schools, 1 community college, or something like that. It was like something along those lines, but make sure you're able to actually apply to a bunch, you know? Do what you can. Dewey J. Hernandez, if you go to college for a degree do you have to take other classes? Unfortunately, yes. A lot of the time, especially when you're getting your associates, you're going to be taking a bunch of classes you really don't want to take. I was not interested in math at all, and I had to take like 3 math classes, and it sucked. And something related to science. It's basically high school, the first 2 years, when you're doing your associates. You won't be doing your major or whatever you're interested in until the last 2 years, which is working towards your bachelor's. And yeah, so unfortunately, yes, you might be taking some classes you don't love. You do have a lot more freedom to choose these classes and to make sure that you're actually on track. Talk to your advisor. But yeah, you're gonna be taking some classes that maybe aren't too interested in. But there's a lot of interesting courses out there in a lot of different colleges, so you might be finding something new. I don't know. I think that's the point, right? Wavy Angel, any advice for losing motivation? That's a great one. Whether you're a senior in high school or senior in college, you definitely start losing motivation. Or if you're just not interested in your major anymore. Or if you feel like, oh my God, I got off track and I wasn't taking the right classes. There's so many things that can derail you. Motivation, that's something that comes from like futuristic goals. I'm always picturing future me being very happy with my past self and working hard and getting there. So if the end goal is that diploma, that piece of paper, then that right there should be the motivation. And it's really tough to think about that, but you have to be thinking about your future self and how happy you're going to be when you're going to be walking down that stage and receiving that, if that's what you want. Again, college isn't for everybody. You can go get a certification, or you can just go straight into the workforce, or you can start a business. There's so many options out there. Like, college isn't for everyone. Like, I truly believe that. For motivation, just remember why you're doing this. Make sure you're not doing it for anybody else, for your parents' gratification or anything like that. Remember why you're doing it and find your way back to that. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. This was super fun, and I hope to make more videos like this. I'm sorry the lighting just kind of like died. So sorry about that. It is literally nighttime. Thank you so much for joining me, and I love you guys. Subscribe, follow me on TikTok, follow me on Instagram. I'm everywhere, so I love you guys so much. Bye.